to see through that sort of political piffle, sir.
Call Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, happy Chinese New Year to you and to the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove, who I've got to say was a lot more friendly in Finance Committee today than he was in the House just now. But I've got to say this, I do agree with something he said. When he said that, well, not much, but there was something. When he said that police do a really tough job, and I think he said, look, he wouldn't want to be a police officer. I tell you now, I wouldn't want to be, Mr Speaker, a police officer either. We'd have much higher crime probably in this country if I was. But, you know, the point is this. When they go out on the beat and they put the uniform on, suddenly they are, and I learnt this in jury trials, because not everyone thinks the way members in this House do, where we think, look, there's a strong respect for police, there's basically a regard for the way police handle situations. There is a small, persistent minority in this country who despise them, who hate them, and actually at a far too regular basis they are spat on, they are abused, and we know, and I'm not going to go through the cases, but we know, of course, that they're punched, they're kicked, they're stabbed, and look, in a tragic but thankfully small number of cases, they have been killed in this country. And so this bill, no, it doesn't solve everything, but it does recognise the important role that police play in this country. And I say to the members opposite, yeah, I understand that sentencing in this country, aggravating and mitigating factors, there's a common law, and judges can take into account things that have built up over the years in the common law. Understand that. But what this bill does do is it provides certainty, it provides black and white for the judge on any given day in the district and high courts in this country that they shall take into account as an aggravating factor offences against a police officer. That will lift up the penalty that would otherwise be applied. And the modern approach to sentencing in this country, Mr Speaker, is, look, the judge starts with the sentencing starting point, whatever that is, and rape these days, all things being equal, I believe, in fact I think there may be new case law out, but it's always been 8 years, and then they go up for a list of aggravating factors, some at common law, if they decide to apply those, but they must take into account the ones in Section 9 in the Sentencing Act. And then they mitigate from that as well, of course, the guilty plea, remorse, etc., those things come down. But what this bill does, as I say, very much is it puts in black and white for all judges in this country to see that offending against police is something that they must take into account and elevate the sentence because of that fact. I think that's a great thing. It's the right thing. Police deserve us to back them in that way, to some extent symbolic, but I also think real as well. And I also hope that by doing this, there will be a deterrent effect so that trend towards more offending against police in recent years may be turned around. Of course, this isn't the only law and order bill we've passed in the last 2 or 3 years. We've had a really strong effort to toughen the law and the legal response to crime in this country, and so I proudly support this bill.
Call Chris Farfoy.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker.